All right, so today is finally the day. So Garmin has just announced their new CIRQA screenless health and activity tracker, and we've got a lot to talk about. So they're making the announcement for the CIRQA today, and it'll be available to order on July 24th. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the CIRQA in front of me right now, but by the time you're watching this video, I should probably already have it in hand. But in this video, we're going to go over all the nitty-gritty details about the CIRQA, like the price, the features, and some initial thoughts on if this is what we were all waiting for. And then I'm definitely going to have a lot of follow-up videos on the CIRQA with a more hands-on look, as well as my normal in-depth review, as well as some comparisons with some other brands here. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to get a notification when that video comes out, or those videos come out, I guess. All right, so first up, let's talk about price. So the CIRQA is going to run $199, and the follow-up question is there a required subscription? And that's a no. You can use the CIRQA all on its own. But just like their other wearables, there is the optional Connect Plus subscription, just like before, but there are a few Connect Plus features that do make a lot of sense now, why they were actually Connect Plus features. And then for sizes and options, so the CIRQA is going to be available in 2 different sizes, and they say the small version should fit wrists from 120 to 200 millimeters, and the large fitting wrists from 145 to 240 millimeters, and it's available in 4 different colors. The next question is, can you wear it on the arm? Well, they're not offering an option to buy it with an armband. However, you can buy an armband accessory that you can purchase for $60. Again, in 2 different sizes, but also a lot more colors. And there's also additional wristband colors too if you want to switch it up. But just like pretty much every other screenless health and activity tracker, this is meant to be a wear it and forget it type tracker where it can track your health stats and activities throughout the day without the distraction of a screen. But in terms of what it can actually track, so it can track your calories burned, steps, it can track your sleep, it can track your HRV, your heart rate variability, and it can also track your activities, both with automatic tracking, and you can also manually track an activity for more detail. And that's actually one of the uses for the button on the side, which is something kind of unique and different about the CIRQA versus some other screenless health and activity trackers out there. The automatic activity tracking piece is definitely a key feature for a lot of screenless health and activity trackers, again because of that wear it and forget it type aspect. So this is definitely something I'm going to be testing a lot on the CIRQA, not only for what it can track, but how accurately it can track them. But when it comes to some of the specific health stats it can track, so it can track your heart rate throughout the day, it can track your respiration rate, stress, sleep, and also does have skin temperature tracking. But beyond that though, all that data gets fed into some of Garmin's more specialized health stats. So this feeds into Garmin's body battery metric, which is basically Garmin's way of estimating energy levels based on sleep and activities. This also feeds into training status, which keeps track of your training load over time and how you're progressing. But really the most interesting part is training readiness, which looks at multiple factors like your training load as well as recovery metrics to give an indication of how ready or not you may be for training. That's a huge surprise here that it comes with that feature. And then when it comes to sleep and recovery tracking, so this tracks your sleep stages and also provides a sleep score. It has their sleep coach feature, which looks at recent sleep history as well as your recent activities to give you an idea of how much sleep you may need tonight. And it even comes with some of Garmin's newer sleep features like sleep alignment, as well as their health status feature, which basically looks at some core vitals like heart rate and heart rate variability to let you know if you're in or out of your personal range. Oh, and then also related to sleep is that it also does have vibrations which can be used for smart wake alarms. But there are a couple notable features this doesn't have though. So this doesn't come with ECG, which comes on some of their higher end devices. And another is floors climbed, since this doesn't have an altimeter. And this also doesn't have built-in GPS. However, you can still track outdoor activities with this using the Garmin Connect app, where you can track up to 80 different sport profiles. And this is actually a pretty impressive list of profiles that they have here, including stuff like running. So with stuff like running, when you're using the Garmin Connect app, you can also get distance, pace, as well as cadence. And then you can also estimate your VO2 max for outdoor runs. The optional Connect Plus subscription part of this is very much like using Connect Plus with one of their watches, where you'll be able to tap into Garmin's workout library for cardio, strength, and other indoor workouts, as well as coaching plans for that matter. But there isn't any support for any of the outdoor workouts or coaching plans. So that's going to be a big difference of using the CIRQA with Connect Plus versus one of their watches. But there is another difference with Connect Plus while using it with the CIRQA. So if you watch my review of the HRM 600 chest heart rate strap, one of my complaints was the lack of a heart rate graph while you're recording activity with the Garmin Connect app. And those graphs in the more robust live activities view is going to be Connect Plus only feature while using it with the CIRQA. Again, you can still manually record an activity using the Garmin Connect app with the CIRQA, but you just don't get those more robust views. And then when it comes to battery life, so they're saying that it should last up to 10 days per charge. And this actually uses the same standard Garmin charging port as nearly all their other wearables, which is really nice to see. All right, so specs and features aside, let's chat about if you actually need this. So if you don't have a Garmin already, this is priced pretty well considering its features. Now, it is double the price of the Fitbit Air, as well as the Helio Band from Amazfit for that matter. But I really do like the Fitbit Air, but I think we can all agree that the app is kind of a work in progress. The Helio Band is actually a really good option too, but I think it's lacking in the design department where it needs a more premium look and feel like some of the other options out there. Compared to Whoop though, that's a lot tougher question, which I'm gonna have to follow up on, but I think we all know Whoop is an ongoing and required subscription model. Now, if you already own a Garmin watch, this gets a lot more interesting, where this could work very much like their index sleep monitor, where you could use this for sleep and then use your watch throughout the day. But if you already do have an index sleep monitor as well as a watch, probably a bit tougher to justify it. As much as there weren't any really big surprises here, I think there were some super interesting things about this, like the fact that it would be worn on the arm. But I think probably the most interesting thing for me is that it does provide training status as well as training readiness, which are kind of Garmin fan favorites. Anyhow, those are just my quick initial thoughts on the new CIRQA, but I'm sure plenty of you out there have your thoughts as well. So definitely chime in with what you think down in the comment section. And hopefully by the time this video comes out, I'll already be testing it. So stay tuned. But in the meantime, have fun out there and we will see you in the next video.